Cyprian, is it also an issue that you highlight because there isn't an operation in a vacuum, even as you oppose the planned privatization, seeking more funding from the government in terms of student per capita, seeking a review of the 2016 policy by then Education CS, and talking about the notably tracing done by the loan beneficiaries through employers and statutory bodies, including the Kenya Revenue Authority, the National Hospital Insurance Fund, NHIF, the National Social Security Fund, NSSF. How will the fund body be then further strengthened? Because here the focus is on loan repayment scheme, but the access, according to a recent report, says that students from privileged households or backgrounds access more than those who are needy and bright, yet they have no access to high learning education.
Yeah, that is true. That is the picture we have at the universities, whereby you find that loans, bursaries are benefiting students sometimes who don't deserve it. You find these are students who comes from a well-to-do family, yet he's the one who is getting funds. Those who comes from poorer homes, they are not able to access these funds. And that's why we want sincerity in these things, even including the funding we are talking about. If the government is very sincere, the body that they want to come up with, we don't have a problem with it as long as it will solve the problem. But if we are going to have, again, the same song being done, then we not solve this problem. We are asking this body that if funds have been allocated, because we also have another problem whereby funds are allocated to the ministry, but they don't get to the universities as where they are supposed to get. We want a body that will be able to look at the funding of universities, how the money will trickle down to each and every university so that it can be able to accomplish the task that it is meant to do. Even the amounts for HELB are able to reach the poorer and the needy cases at the university. If that is done, then you'll be able to find that the problems with the students in our universities will be gone. If I come back to the issue of funding, I want to say that for those policymakers who may be watching us, yes, there's a presidential working party, but I want to tell them that if they will not solve how we can fund public universities, and they want either to think of how universities can be privatized to generate income, then we have lost it. You read here, one of the viewers has just said that the only way to destroy a country is to destroy the education system. And if you destroy the higher education system, that is it. Because this is where now those poorer students at the university access their education so that they can be doctors, engineers, lawyers, journalists, etc. We are asking, as the University Academic Staff Union, let us relook and give serious attention to universities. The late C.S. Magoha mentioned this, that I did not give enough time to universities. Out of my time allocation, I gave only 15%. I can tell you, if the government increases the attention to universities, yes, I can tell you that they have, again, now taken much more time to TVET again, ignoring the higher education sector, specifically universities.
But that also informs, isn't it? Because we are talking about, as I earlier mentioned, Cyprian, the need for a well-choreographed education system, because one informs the other. It's the basic foundation which informs the primary informs the secondary, then you have the TVETs or otherwise high learning institutions like the universities and colleges.
Yes.
I mean, you can't do without the other, without that chain, isn't it? I mean, so, and the investment as well in the TVET sector will be disastrous,
yes,
you agree with me?
We agree. TVET should be there. It should be relooked at. But now, again, if you look, you are a journalist, go and do your research. You'll find, again, they are now overemphasizing TVETs at the expense of universities. Why do you kill universities? Because we'll need the lawyers, we'll need the engineers, we'll need the doctors, in as much as we need the artisans, the plumbers, and those technicians from TVET. So there should be a balance. But again, if the government overemphasizes TVET and misses out on universities, we are going to lose it. I can tell you for sure. In Kenya, go to any home. Even if you take a student to TVET, the dream of every parent is that I want my child to go to university at the end of the day. I want this artisan, a plumber, at the end of the day to upgrade and become an engineer, even if it takes 10, 15 years. So, because they are interconnected, the government should give still serious attention to universities.
Thank you.
The only way, the government must fund higher education, specifically university sector, for us to go to prosperity.
Yes,